Introducing Bofa International's advanced carbon filter technology. How do Bofa manage to make their carbon filters differ from others so that no smell is emitted either by bypass or premature saturation? There are fundamental requirements that have to be considered in the design and production of carbon filters. The surface area of the filter, coupled with filter depth and airflow, will give the required dwell time for both carbon-based and impregnated carbon filters. If these dwell times are not achieved, full absorption may not take place and bypass will occur. Bofa have selected a range of carbons to cater for all known gases of the industries they sell into. Activated-based carbon for organic solvents generated during PCB assembly processes. Acid-washed carbons for ketone from applications within the printing sector. Phosphoric impregnated carbon to remove formaldehyde found within fumes generated by laser markings of plastics. And general soldering applications. Copper impregnated carbon used to neutralize acid gases, for example HCl, which is generated when laser processing PVC. Other impregnated carbons are used for applications where specific compounds are generated. The dwell time is a critical factor in filter design. The depth and surface area of the carbon will be dependent on the airflow and pressure generated by the extraction unit. If the pump used does not have the pressure to pull through a deep bed, or the airflow is so great that the movement is stifled, the surface area of the overall size of the filter would need to be increased to reduce the pressure drop. The size of the carbon granule also has a significant bearing on the correct dwell time and therefore overall performance of the filter. Construction of the filter enclosure must have all sides and miters totally sealed to avoid bypass. It is essential that the gas media is packed as tightly as possible within the enclosure. If the carbon is loose, the granules settle. This can happen initially during transportation, where the carbon granules compact. An airspace is then created between the carbon layer and the top layer, where a considerable amount of carbon dust is generated. When the filter is first used, the initial problem comes from the carbon dust, which is blown through the exhaust, polluting the air within the environment. Further compacting occurs when the filter is fitted and put into use. The air that passes through the media creates a thinning of the bed, causing tunneling and subsequent bypass. The problem is often attributed to premature carbon saturation, where in fact it is a construction fault in the filter manufacturing process. Bofa use a vibrating table to guarantee all settlement takes place on assembly. The filter housing is always slightly overfilled. The mesh grill is then mechanically secured under a return built into the filter housing and sealed. When the granules are added to the enclosure, they become compacted by the constant vibration of the table. The top grill is then placed in position and secured with a weight added until dry. Bofa's ACF technology, lifetime assured filter performance.